Tonight we're going to be trying out spaghetti in the Wolfgang Puck 1.5 cup rice cooker. We're going to be using spaghetti noodles, pasta sauce, and I'm going to be using chicken broth as the water, although you could just use plain water if you wanted to, but I want to give it a little bit of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in the pasta. Now normally if this was regular pasta like elbow noodles or something, I would measure it in a measuring container. It doesn't quite work that way with spaghetti noodles. What I'm going to do is I'm figuring this is going to make about 2 servings. So I'm going to put in about the amount of pasta I would put in a pan if I were making 2 servings. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to break these noodles into thirds. I don't think a half would quite fit, yeah, so. So I've got my noodles in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the liquid. Now you're going to put these in dry, so you need the amount of liquid in that's going to cook the noodles. So I'm going to get my measuring cup out here. And you're going to want to have an equal amount of your liquid to your sauce. So I'm figuring this is going to make about 1.5 cups of noodles. So I want a total of about 1.5 cups of sauce, of liquid here. So there we go. And then I'm going to add in an equal amount of my pasta sauce. Sorry for the splashing. You don't really need to stir it up, but I'm just going to make it a little easier to get everything in there. Going to pour it right on over everything. And then to that, I have some ground beef, and it's not been cooked yet. I'm just going to put in some crumbles or broken pieces here that I've sort of cut up with my fork a little bit of ground beef. A little bit of garlic salt for additional flavoring. Give it a good stir here, being careful with my metal utensil. Snap on the lid, and we're just going to plug it in and get it going. And I'll go ahead and clean up while this is cooking, and in about 20 minutes we should have spaghetti. I may actually go ahead and stir that around about halfway through. So about 10 minutes from now I'm going to go ahead and do that to make sure that the noodles don't stick. And then we're going to go ahead and get going. Oh, one thing I actually forgot was I'm going to put in a smidgen of oil because it will help the noodles not to stick. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll check it in 10 minutes. I just heard the rice cooker click on to warm at the same time my 20-minute timer went off, so that was actually pretty accurate. So we're going to go ahead and have a look inside, being careful when removing the lid. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. This actually looks really good. And I did come back and stir it in 10 minutes as I said I would. And it was actually a really good idea. You wouldn't have to do that with regular noodles, but spaghetti noodles, I think it was really necessary. So it looks like everything's cooked through. We're going to go ahead and plate this up and have a look and see how this did. So it looks like everything came out beautifully. Even the meat is really well cooked. So I'm really happy with the results of this. So this is how you're going to go ahead and make spaghetti in your rice cooker.